Hello, everybody. It's that time of week again. This is Comic Book Hangover, and we're going to be going through some comic books that I picked up this week, some books that I got in the mail, and talk a little bit about the books that I got last week. At least some of them. There's not a whole lot really that I'm going to talk about as far as what I got last week. So let's show you what I grabbed this week before we go any further. It's kind of a small week. There's actually very few books that I get to read, but there are some variant covers and some other assorted goodies here. So starting with some of the Marvel True Believers that I picked up this week, there was only two that came out. There was the Marvel Superheroes UK numbers. This reprints issues 380 through to 383. And if I remember right, the Marvel UK stuff, they were kind of in magazine form, and they were the stories were very serialized, very short. So this is first appearance of Saturnine. I'm not very sure about the name of the character, but I grabbed that, and of course my notes and the issues that are being reprinted in the True Believers are now going across the top. And then I grabbed Uncanny X-Men number 171. This is the first appearance of Soul Sword. This is also reprinting the issue where Rogue joins the X-Men. I recently just got the original printing of this one from Cody Lockwood through Lockwood's Loot. So it's kind of cool to have the original, and now I've got a reprint. So if for any reason whatsoever this issue becomes a big money issue, I'd be okay with selling off the original because I do have a reprint now. Sticking with Marvel, the only other Marvel book that I picked up this week was a variant because talk about Mark Waid here in a second. But an Alex Ross Silver Surfer cover is damn near impossible to resist. There is no way I could resist this. Even though this is a Fantastic Four Antithesis number 2. It's written by Mark Waid, one of my least favorite people in comics. So despite it having the stink of Mark Waid on it, the cover is amazing, and I'm not about to punish the cover because the guy who wrote the book is kind of a tool. My opinion. All right, just totally my opinion, but this is an amazing cover. I absolutely love some Alex Ross Silver Surfer. The only other book that I'm planning on getting from these Alex Ross variant covers, I was originally just going to get the Ghost Rider one, which I'm not sure when that's coming out. Hopefully it's soon because it's the original. It's the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. But the more I looked at the Daredevil one, the more I fell in love with it. So I put in an order to get the Daredevil cover as well, and I'm really on the fence about grabbing Storm, but I'm trying not to go too crazy about these covers because they're all amazing. They've all got this just varying levels of awesome through them. So if you haven't seen any of these, I think the She-Hulk one came out this week. We had a few that came out last week, but man, these are amazing covers. The pictures that we saw online when they were soliciting these do not do these justice. These are gorgeous covers. Moving on. I also grabbed Invader Zim Quarterly number 2. Haven't read that one yet. And finally, the last of the new books that I picked up this week, Batgirl number 49. I got the regular cover, really nice cover. But I also had to, again, I keep saying I want to move away from these variant covers, but damned if Marvel and DC keep putting out really nice ones. And this one, it's kind of a double whammy. It's a nice cover, but it's also drawn by Mirka Andolfo, who does the Mercy series that I am absolutely enjoying. Mirka does the writing and the art on that series. Did the cover for this week's Batgirl number 49. This is the second to last issue of the series. I couldn't resist. I had to have it. It's an absolutely gorgeous cover. So those are the books that I picked up this week. I guess next week I could tell you I'm probably going to end up talking about the Invader Zim and the Batgirl, because that's really all I have to read. So hopefully next week is a pretty sizable week. Now the books that I picked up last week that were kind of interesting. Batman number 99, continuing the Joker War. If you're reading the Joker War series, you pretty much know what to expect from this. I mean, it just keeps building and keeps building. Now this issue here is it's that issue that you have to have in all these events where you had the beginning of the story, then you had your big action sequences, and now you gotta before the grand finale, you got to make sure that all your players in the right places on the board. So there's not a whole lot of action that I can recall in this issue, but the story wise, it's really good. I mean, it's it's never been, since I've been reading this, since James Tynion IV took over this series, I have not been disappointed in it. So thank God that he was writing Something is Killing the Children, because if he was not writing that, I wouldn't have checked this one out. So it's continuing to be a great series. I was planning on dropping it at Batman number 100, because originally they were going to do some stupid reboot of all the DC books and start everything over from number 1. So originally I was going to drop it at issue 100, because I'm more interested in having Batman 101 as opposed to yet another first issue of Batman. But now that the reboot has been fortunately scrapped because it was completely unnecessary and really nobody wanted it, they're going to be continuing the Batman series. So after Joker War, I mean, I enjoyed the pre-Joker War books, so I'm going to check out the post-Joker War books. Hopefully I enjoyed as much as I have been up until this point, because yeah, it's fun. It's really good. I also picked up last week, this is Bad Girls number 2. Now, in the Bad Girls world, this is written and drawn by Jason Howard. In the Bad Girls world, something happened where men at a certain age, if I remember, at a certain age, they sort of mutate. They become kind of walking tumors. I mean, they're giants, they're destructive, they don't seem to think. And some women, the big girls, as the title is, there's the certain women who grow really tall, so they're able to fight the giant men monsters. And fortunately, it doesn't become sort of a feminist, pro-woman, anti-men, man-hating, man-bashing series. I mean, they're showing serious repercussions in here, and all the characters are actually pretty realistic, really well done, really well written. This issue here, now in the first issue, we get the basic lay of the land, so to speak. We understand what this world is. We understand what's going on. So in this issue here, we get to expand on a little bit. So we're finding out a little bit about do these men who mutate, do they still retain some of their former selves? Do they have the ability to think? Because in the first issue, they're treated as if they're just mindless monsters that just need to be put down. But in this issue here, we find out that maybe that's not exactly true. There seems to be some of them who are able to retain who they used to be and retain some of those memories. So that makes it a little bit more interesting, because you have one of the main characters in here who kind of questions what they're doing. So this was going to be my last issue that I was going to buy from this series, because I figured, first issue, I wanted to check it out. Second issue, see where it's going, and then, move on to something else. But I think for the time being, I'm not going to add it to my pull list yet, but it is very, very close to be added to my pull list. I think when Bad Girls issue 3 comes out next month, and I check that out, I'm going to make the decision at that point. So hopefully it becomes a book that gets added to my pull list, because, I mean, right now it is very entertaining, but I need to kind of get some control over what I'm buying. Despite the fact that I'm not buying a whole lot, I still have very limited resources that can go towards comics. The other book that I picked up last week, that it's sort of a slow burn. This is Chip Zdarsky's Stillwater number 1. This is a slow burn book. So if you like a story that doesn't just jump right into everything, but just kind of gives you, as the first issue progresses, it gives you a little bit. Another piece of the puzzle. So by the time you get to the end of this first issue, you have most of the puzzle put together. There is a lovely little cliffhanger. So the basic story of this is our main character he's kind of a loser. He loses his job. He's got some anger issues. He's quick to turn to violence, turn to fighting if he's drinking. He gets a notice that an aunt of his, I guess he didn't really know was still alive, had died and is in the town of Stillwater, and he's supposed to go there to collect his inheritance. And a friend of his goes with him, sort of for moral support, to kind of make sure that he does what he's supposed to do. And you get to the town of Stillwater, and the main, I don't want to say gimmick, but the main story, the thing that drives the story is in the town of Stillwater, nobody dies. And apparently nobody gets injured for very long either, because we see a kid get pushed off a building, lands in the cement, and within minutes he's fully healed and he's off and running. So you've got this town of Stillwater. We've got this guy who apparently was related to somebody in the town of Stillwater. They never even knew the town existed, never even realized that she was alive. He shows up. Now they're trying to protect their secret, because once the secret gets out, everybody's going to go there. So we have a slow burn first issue, which means that the second issue is very much, I'm very much looking forward to. I want to see where this goes. It was an enjoyable read. It was a lot of fun. So hopefully that will be another series that gets added to my pull list. We'll know by, say, like issue 3. I'll know for sure if I want to do that. Now, what I got in the mail, I subscribed to the Mr. Mail Call, Comic Tom 101. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description down below. So I got my my September box from him, and I already opened it. I'm going to take pictures and put it on my Instagram as well. Actually, I'll link to my Instagram in the description down below as well. So the books that I got, couple of them one I think I've already got. I'm not sure. One I got, one I might read it, and I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it. This is the Dungeon Comics variant for Exo Manowar #1. So that's pretty cool. This one I think I've already got, but this is a second print. Yeah, this is second printing X-Men Gold #1. Figure out which one of those I have. This is one that I'm actually excited about because I love the deceased things. So this is the deceased cover for, where is it at? Okay, Batgirl #40 deceased cover, variant cover. So that's kind of cool. I like that. To go along with this Delirium print here, I have now Batgirl. That's pretty awesome. Superman #166 with a nice little holofoil cover, because you gotta love those gimmicks. And the special sort of box exclusive books this month were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #109. It's an homage cover. It's also the first time, apparently, that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo was sideways on the cover. It's always been across the top. This is the first time it's ever gone along the side there, so that's pretty cool. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with that. But then the other big cover is this variant for Thor, and I wish I could remember the name of the artist who did this. I feel really bad, but he's a Spanish artist, did an amazing job on it. I really, really do like that cover. This is going to be very well, much welcome in my collection, so very happy to have this one. It's an amazing cover. I mean, it looked okay when he was showing, when Comic Tom was showing it, but to have it in person, it looks so much better. I mean, there is so much detail, even like an Asgard in the background. There is so much, I don't know how well that's going to focus on there, but there's so much detail and all those buildings back there. I mean, that's just amazing. That's just very, very well done. So very happy to have that. So that's it. That's what I got for this week. It's kind of the last week's books, there really weren't a lot to talk about. This week, really mostly got reprints and variants, and 2 books I'm actually going to read. So hopefully next week will be a good size week, so I have a little bit more to talk about. But we'll see. We'll see what we're going to get. So that aside, I'll put some links in the description down below. Thanks for watching. I hope everybody else out there had an amazing Wednesday. Hope everybody got some great books. I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else picked up. So I do have certain people that I follow regularly on this wonderful YouTube thing. Can't wait to see what everybody else picked up. Can't wait to see what other books people got in their Comic Tom 101 Mystery Mail Call box. So that's it. Oh, well, here, how about this? My new Funko Pops. Captain Universe Spider-Man and Nova. It's kind of weird that the Marvel Funko Pops are all bobbleheads. And earlier today we were at Hot Topic and I saw... No, it's Hot Topic or FYE? It's Hot Topic. They've got a zombie Silver Surfer is kind of holding his head. So he's not a bobblehead because he's holding his head above him. It's kind of cool. I might see about picking that up in the next week or two. But that's it. That's what I got. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed what I'm doing here. And, give me some comments down below. Let me know what you grabbed. If you got the Mystery Mail Call, I'd like to see what other books you got in your box. And, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. See ya.